In July 2026, two climbers bypassed security at the Empire State Building and scaled the skyscraper's 1,454-foot antenna. Angela Nicolau and Birkus are known professionally as the Skywalkers, a duo with a global reputation for illegally summiting the world's tallest structures. They didn't make this climb for the adrenaline alone. They scaled a quarter-mile of steel to stage an audacious, dizzying marriage proposal directly over Midtown Manhattan. The cinematic moment ended almost immediately in handcuffs. When the couple climbed back down to the observation deck, they were greeted by police and hit with a slew of charges, including burglary, reckless endangerment, and criminal trespass. The building's ownership released a statement shortly after. They pointed out that couples wanting to get engaged should probably stick to the observation deck's officially sanctioned proposal packages. New York City is practically synonymous with cinematic romance, offering a million different ways to pop the question. But looking at this stunt side by side with the building's official options raises a practical question. How much must you spend? How high must you climb for the perfect New York proposal? The Empire State Building has spent nearly a century cementing itself as the ultimate romantic destination, leveraging decades of Hollywood legacy from films like An Affair to Remember and Sleepless in Seattle. Because of that cultural weight, the building has heavily monetized the experience. For $1,000, you can book the Happily Ever Empire package. That buys you priority access and a small roped-off corner on the crowded 86th floor observation deck to ask the question. This chart maps out the cost of proposing in New York. Starting at $0 on the street, it jumps to $1,000 for the standard VIP package, then rockets up to $14,000 for the Empire for Two package. To understand that massive $13,000 difference, you have to look at what you're actually buying. The ultra-premium tier gets you private access to the 102nd floor, vintage champagne, and a chef's tasting menu. But the real commodity you're paying for is the complete elimination of other tourists. These official routes guarantee safety and a classic view, but they also turn an intimate life milestone into a highly structured, transactional luxury product. You don't have to spend a year's rent to get a world-class backdrop. The city is full of public, ground-level alternatives that offer incredible views completely for free. Down at the Dumbo waterfront in Brooklyn, Washington Street offers an architectural setup where the Manhattan Bridge is perfectly framed between two red brick warehouses. It looks like it was designed by a movie production crew, making it the most booked proposal composition in the city. Or you can head uptown to Central Park. Bow Bridge provides a sprawling natural landscape, particularly in the fall when the cast iron reflects off the lake against vibrant autumn foliage. But the main problem with these free locations is the overwhelming crowd density. While the Empire State Building deals with about 4 million visitors a year, Central Park sees over 42 million. To beat that math, you have to adopt a strict logistical strategy. Proposal photographers universally advise booking sessions at sunrise, long before the tourist buses arrive, the dog walkers wake up, and the pathways clog. Pulling off the perfect New York moment has almost nothing to do with financial budgets. It depends entirely on how strategically you can manipulate time to carve out a few minutes of absolute privacy among 8 million people. This pie chart illustrates what partners actually want. Despite expectations of viral spectacles, 83% of people prefer a private proposal. This data redefines the logistics. The goal is to use the city's cinematic grandeur as a quiet backdrop, rather than a public stage. The preference for a private setting suggests a successful proposal requires the feeling of total isolation, regardless of how many people are actually standing on the street below. We've looked at 3 very different ways to get there. You can risk arrest scaling a 1,400-foot antenna. You can buy guaranteed isolation for $14,000 on a private deck, or you can shiver for free